50% chance of rain in Alamogordo, high of 77, low of 60 for Cloudcroft, high of 62, overnight low of 43. For tomorrow, we're looking at sunny skies and the rain moving out. In Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 83, low of 58 for Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 69, and an overnight low of 41.
When I was in prison, learning to read and write freed me from the shackles of illiteracy. And there was no greater freedom that I ever felt in my heart or in my life than when I first learned to read and write. Break free from the shackles of illiteracy and find new freedom in reading and writing. Contact the New Mexico Coalition for Literacy at 1-800-233-7587. Services are free, private, and confidential. Paid for by the New Mexico Coalition for Literacy and aired in cooperation with this station.
This is the KNMZ Football Roundtable, Season 32. 5 local business people in a competition picking winners from the best high school, college, and NFL games every week. Manny Gonzalez from Charles Garland and Harris Agency, Brandon Burling from Desert Sun Auto Group, Timothy Brock of Christ Community Church, Jake Roberts with Coldwell Banker Sudderth Nelson, and Lara Conway of First National Bank. Now let's get to the picks. You're listening to ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Welcome into the KNMZ Football Roundtable. Hope everybody's having a Friday. Hope you're dry wherever you may be. Probably not an easy thing to do today, but we like the rainy weather. And another edition. This is the 7th week of the season, and we'll pick obviously all of our high school and college and pro games for this week. And happy to have you tuned in wherever you may be. We've got Manny Gonzalez back from Charles Garland and Harris Agency. How you doing, Manny?
Rainy day, you rain yourself away. Think I could dig on a rainy day. I'm doing great.
Yeah. You're Manny. You're still Manny. That's the most important part. So.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be on board with the roundtable this morning.
All right. We've got somebody filling in for Lara, Ricky Riordan. Did I say that right?
Raridan.
Okay,
close.
We're pretty close. He's filling in. He works with Lara over there at First National Bank. Ricky, how you doing, man?
Doing good. I'd rather be talking football than working, so.
There you go. That's a good way to look at it. Cowboys fan, what's your college team?
Don't
Not really have one.
really have one. I mean, maybe Notre Dame.
Okay, well, you and Manny will get along
All right.
just fine. So, all right. Hopefully Brandon and Tim is right there. He's walking in as we speak, and hopefully Brandon will be along with us here soon. I haven't gotten a text, so my bet is he's probably on his way as we speak. So Tim Brock from Christ Community Church. What's up, buddy?
Hey, today's the day the Lord has made, and I'm going to rejoice in the rain. And Ricky is here, dude. That's exciting for me. He's a member of our church and good man. He knows a lot about sports.
Yes.
Let me tell you what Lara does. She always
Oh, boy.
she always picks against Alamo, and she's been right. And she picks all the upsets. All right, all the underdogs.
Got Jake Roberts from Coldwell Banker Sudderth Nelson. Jake, I mean, I'm sure you're happy to be right back here next to Tim, even though I know you were listening and texting him throughout the show last week.
I needed to remind him that I was still in his head and that I am still number one, so.
You're not wrong. I think about you daily.
All right, and of course, Brandon Burling from Desert Sun Auto Group. He should hopefully be along with us here soon. Let me see. He is on his way. He just texted
I need
me,
to do a shout out to Cesar Acosta, who's
That's right.
filled in for me last week, and he held his own. And I need to get him chattering a little bit more. You know, if he's going to sit in this big chair over here, he's got to be a little more active. But I think he's kind of overwhelmed by the power of this panel. You know, so
The power.
We'll get him more.
The
tuned in.
bloviation of this panel.
Yes, there's plenty of bloviating that's going on this show for sure.
That's a good word.
All right, it is a very good word. All right, let's start off with tonight's game down in Chaparral, hopefully. I mean, goodness knows what the weather delays we've had, and it's just rain, so I haven't heard any thunder, so that's a good thing.
I still think we should be picking whether they're going to play or not, because
Well,
the weather keeps canceling.
That's a fair bet, but Tigers going to try to bounce back. It was a real tough game last week, 37-0 against Deming. Alamo just had their worst game of the season by far, and real good opportunity to get back on track this week against Chaparral, and the hardest 4 weeks of the season are coming up over the next 4 weeks. So certainly try to get right here this week and see if they can turn it around heading into those final 4 games. But tough night, and it was a long night too, unfortunately. We had to wait out a weather delay again, and we're able to finish it, thankfully, 37-0 not the score, but just able to finish the game was the big thing. So we'll see if the Tigers can get it turned around. This would seem like it. Chaparral's 0-4. They've struggled this year. This should be one the Tigers should take away tonight.
And Charles, you did a great job. I listened to the whole thing, including your evening version of the Roundup.
Wow.
That's what it was.
And man, you were killing time, dude.
Well, and I got off when I could hear the lightning coming through the headphones. I could hear the static. I was like, I don't want to be hooked up to this metal thing that's got an antenna on top. So I kind of had to
dig that. And so I never stay up that late, even on Friday nights. But I said, if the Tigers are going to play, I'm going to listen. And so that's the deal. Hey, Chaparral's, you hate when you see a program that's 0-4, and the Alamogordo Tigers at 1-3. But those weather delays, I've been following Tiger football since 1980. I have never seen a season like this, not ever. But back to the playing field, I got to believe that the young people are going to go down south and they're going to redeem themselves. Unfortunately, the Chaparral Knights are in for a long night. I'm going Tigers.
Okay. Ricky.
Laura's got Alamo.
All right.
What? Wait. She sent you with picks?
She sent me with high school picks.
He's got the rest of the picks. So
okay.
Yeah, you're not going to trip him up on the other games. He knows sports. So
He does. Yes, I was trying to get in his head, but it looks like I'm the only one that's in that situation.
Brandon texted me. He picked Alamogordo as well. Tim.
Yeah, what I do know about this game is that they got a really good crew. One of the best football referee crews in the state is working this game, which, interesting. I'm not on it, so that makes it good. Yeah, these are two tough programs for football right now, but Chaparral's really, really, really bad. So I'm going to go Alamogordo.
Yeah, they've got freshmen that are playing out there. That's going to be tough for them. And Jake.
Because of the number one officiating crew, I'm going to go ahead and take Alamo.
I mean, not that it affects the game. I'm just saying that
I wasn't really sure where that was coming from. I was expecting something more profound from you, Tim.
What do you say?
There's a movie or a TV show where a guy's like, I root for the officials, and it was I don't know. It makes me think. It made me think.
Well, it definitely gives you a different perspective when you're used to calling games and you.
We appreciate the officials. We know the guys and gals that do all the officiating across the state. It's a tough job, and unfortunately, we don't have enough of them for a lot of the games that are across the state for all the sports.
That's very true.
Tim, what do you think about all the chatter going on about the NFL officiating?
Well, I'm glad we don't have instant replay in high school football.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Because it is tough. I mean, in the rules, they keep changing them, they tweak them. You got to keep up with it. You've got to be. You can be the expert when nobody cares, right? From your seat in the stands or from your couch, which is where I've been many times. But when the weight of it is really on you to make the right, to adjudicate it properly, it is tough. And so those guys, I think they do a great job. I think they're phenomenal how often they're right.
And are most of those guys still part-time? They've got daytime jobs.
Correct.
They've got a flexibility in their work schedule.
In the NFL, yes. The other sports, no, because it's more year-round. But these guys, like Ed Hockley, famously was like a lawyer in Phoenix, I believe, or Tucson. And so all those guys have jobs that they work through the week, and then they travel together on the weekends to do these games. So it's really incredible. What a great job. But there's not a lot of them, and they're very well trained, and they go over tape, and they work their tail off. And, again, I think they do a good job.
I do. I think for the most part, it's just we obviously focus on the plays that they don't do well. So,
and that matters, and they should be held accountable. But it's I actually just wish they'd, like the crew chief, what I'd like to see happen is at the end of the games, he takes a few questions because you don't know these guys. You don't know why they make those decisions. Yeah, you got the guy now in the booth that's former official explaining things, but I think it wouldn't hurt. It makes us familiar with what they're thinking, how they process it, and why. And I think that would be good accountability as well.
Well, I think a lot of the criticism is more based on the rules that they have to enforce because people don't like the roughing the passer penalties. People don't like the big hits that aren't allowed anymore, and they're enforcing a set of rules that are put in front of them.
And we tell that to coaches all the time that, hey, we understand why that's going to make 50% of the crowd upset. But like, for instance, if there's anything even remotely looking like targeting or leading with the helmet, they say if it even passes through your mind, throw a flag on it. Because injuries and safety is paramount. So you watched the game last night. You saw, I think it was Matthews hit Russell Wilson with his shoulder. It looked, by the way his head went back, that he hit him with his head. I thought it was a terrible call, but you can totally understand why that flag was thrown. So,
In the speed of the game, yeah.
Well, and now with, of course, everybody being, like just ready to dump on the referees anytime they mess it up, they're doing the safe rather than sorry kind of thing. At the end of the day, you don't want to have something egregious like what happened to the Saints last year. Yeah. I mean, they do such a good job, but then when you have such an egregious call, it brings a lot of attention unnecessarily towards what they do, and I don't know that that's fair. But then you get calls like that, and you're like,
nature of the job, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be bad calls. I mean, it's as simple as that. But, yeah, it's just kind of how it goes, unfortunately. All right, moving on to Tularosa at Hatch Valley. Thule basically had a bye week last week. It's a shame they didn't get to play their homecoming game. I know they were excited about that. The weather got the best of them out in Tularosa against Hagerman. Hatch Valley is coming off an actual bye week where they didn't play, so both teams are kind of in the same boat. I would caution, Hatch. They've played a tough schedule. I think they're probably a little bit better than their 1-4 record, and this is the exact same situation essentially that it was last year. I think Hatch was 1-4, and Thule was either 3-2 or 4-1 coming into this game last year, and Hatch beat them. I think Thule's better than they were last year, clearly, but I think Hatch probably deserves a little bit more respect than their 1-4 record. But I get the feeling we'll probably all be on Tularosa's side here, but we'll see how it goes. Ricky, you get to start this one off if you like.
Yep. Lara's got Tularosa. They've looked good so far. I mean, racking up the score pretty easily, so I think they come out on top.
All right. Tim.
They're looking as good as your beard, by the way. It is glorious. It is. I mean, you got like a little red, a little orange, like a blonde mustache.
Hey.
I mean,
you are trying to get
dude, no, I'm just really impressed right now.
Are you setting this up to try and convince me?
No, I'm just complimenting him. It's a compliment. I just am proud of you. Yeah, it's Tularosa.
The tone of his voice, doesn't it make you kind of question?
It seems like when we get to these pro games, it's going to be like, I like that pick, but, you with the great beard, this might be a better route,
Yeah. Well, that will happen. Right. Yeah, but I know it won't do you. You're strong. You're strong-minded.
Right. Jake, who do you like, man?
I'm taking Thule.
All right. I like the Wildcats, but I do think this will be a closer game than maybe the records would possibly indicate there. Manny?
Tularosa's put up 143 points, given up 72. Hatch Valley's put up 81, given up 116. Thank you for the little tidbit about Hatch Valley may be better than the record displays, but I think Tularosa, especially after their homecoming game got canceled last week, they're hungry. Yeah. They're hungry, and they're going to go take it out on somebody. I'm going Wildcats on the road.
All right. Brandon?
Sorry, I'm running late, everybody.
What's up, buddy?
But no, I'm gonna go Tularosa. I know they played a tough game a couple weeks ago and had some time to probably recuperate and gain, and so Tularosa on the road.
All right, so everybody likes the Wildcats. Now on to some tougher games to pick. We got Goddard going to Lovington. Goddard's 4-1. A little surprised that Los Lunas beat them last week, 21-7. So good on the Los Lunas Tigers. We'll get to see them next week up there in Los Lunas. I was excited because I heard they have a new press box, so that's exciting for me. It was a smaller press box, and I guess they redid it up there. Lovington, meanwhile, what a crazy game out in Artesia. They were down 2 scores with about 5 minutes left in the game and scored 14 points to tie it up with about a minute left at 52, and then Artesia threw a 50-yard touchdown pass with about 20 seconds left to win it. So
the dagger.
Yeah, just ridiculous. But crazy game, 59-52 they lost. I think this is a tough one to pick. Lovington's certainly shown that they can hang with Roswell and Artesia this year. They can put up a lot of points. The defense, well, maybe not as solid, but I think it's a tougher game to pick than has been in years past. Let's say that much. Brandon?
I agree. When I saw that Goddard lost, I was like, whoa. and so, unfortunately, there's not a lot of footage to see. Like, do they just have an off game, or, was one of their players injured? You just don't have a lot of the information to know why they lost. I think they're a better team than that. Either that or Los Lunas is just better than what everybody thinks. But this is a short road game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think Goddard should be able to go in there. I think they're in a upper class, correct? I mean, one class up, and so I think Goddard takes this one. Although, what a great game to be at this weekend.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun one for sure. Be a great crowd. There'll be a lot of blue, different shades, but a lot of blue there out at Lovington Stadium. Tim?
Yeah, really impressed with Lovington last week. I wonder if they had finish the upset of Artesia, that we'd have a different tone. I'm afraid we're all going to go with Goddard just because they're the blue blood, even though they lost. And Los Lunas is really good. Like none of us pick Los Lunas, but I don't think any of us are like shocked that Los Lunas won. I wouldn't be shocked if Lovington won, but something close to shocked. I'm still going Goddard.
All right. Jake.
Yeah, you got to give Lovington the respect that they deserve for hanging in there last week. I still think Goddard's a better team, so I'll keep with the Rockets.
Yeah, I'm going to go Goddard. Their defense, I think, is what stands out. I think that their defense can come away with some stops in this game against that Lovington offense, and that'll be the difference in my eyes. So I'm going to go with Rockets. Manny?
It is a short road trip, 94 miles, parking lot to parking lot.
I knew you'd have the exact measurements there.
He's got like a sheet there. I mean, seriously, that's amazing.
You know, in my political life, I did a lot of traveling, about 3,000 miles a month, and so yeah, I always knew how far it was. Anyway, yeah, Goddard's 5'8", Lovington's 4'8". Goddard's put up 148 points, given up 39 points.
Wow.
My brothers. Lovington's put up 256, you know. So they're swinging for the fences, but they've given up 183. That's the difference in this one. I think defense prevails. I'm going Goddard Rockets.
Ricky.
And Larry's got Goddard.
Okay. Yeah, I thought maybe somebody would jump out there with Lovington, but yeah, I think Goddard probably should win this game, but we'll see what happens. Could be another crazy one out there. This is probably the game of the week in the state. Las Cruces taking on Centennial over the Field of Dreams. Cruces is 4-2. They beat Hobbs 47-0 last week. Centennial beat Carlsbad 33-0 last week. Centennial finished their game at 1:36 in the morning, and Carlsbad on Friday night, or on Saturday morning, I should say. There are clearly different rules based on what I understand is they had a charter bus company, so they didn't have to get back at a certain time if you have your school bus company that works for the public schools. That was the issue why Alamogordo couldn't finish that Lovington game a couple weeks ago, is the bus driver had to be back by a certain time. They had to be on the road. This case, I mean, they restarted the game at 12:30 a.m., so both teams wanted to wait it out. And they were already past halftime, so they could have called it. Kind of interesting deal in that Centennial Carlsbad game. And it was a district matchup, so maybe that's also why they wanted to finish it. But I think it's a tough one to pick. Centennial has an opportunity to really put some distance between themselves and everybody else in the district, and they may be on the way for another undefeated season. Undefeated regular season. They had one last year, so we'll see what happens. Tim.
Once again, I feel like every time I have to go first, it's like the toughest game to call, right?
But then he tries to predict everybody else's stuff.
I know what y'all are going to
do. He guides everybody else's pick.
Everybody's going to pick Centennial except for me. I'm going to go Las Cruces.
All right. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. Jake.
Prophecy fulfilled. I will take Centennial with 6 wins, undefeated, ranked number 1 in the state. Let's go Hawks.
You know what? I'm going to go with Tim. I'll go with Cruces on that one. Manny.
I tend to favor Las Cruces just because I know more about them. Centennial is kind of the bright, shiny thing in the room right now. They're 6-0. Las Cruces has put up 258 points, given up 117. Centennial has put up 279 and given up 67. I'm back on the defense. I'm going Hawks.
All right. Ricky.
And we got Centennial over Las Cruces.
Okay. Brandon.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Centennial as well.
It's you and me, Tim. Let's make it happen. We've done pretty good on some of those picks this year. You and me have been the only ones we gotten it right, so we'll see what happens. And this one, I think we all probably know where we're going with this one, but it's in the area, and there weren't a lot of good high school football games this weekend. I mean, I could have. There was a 6-man game that I could have put on there, but
hey, I might have had an upper hand there.
There you go. They were both teams were 6-0. I was like, sure, we can put that on there. Artesia going to Ruidoso. We've seen Ruidoso here in Alamogordo this year. They're 3-3. They beat Silver last week, 15-13. We mentioned what Artesia did in that Lovington game last week already. So Artesia should be the heavy favorite going into this game, but maybe the elevation. The rain, there could be something that makes this game crazy. Who knows? Jake?
Ruidoso came out and they beat up Tularosa, which I didn't see coming. They can be scrappy. I don't know if it's enough for Artesia, but you can never count them really out. I mean, even when the odds are against them, they can really pull some stuff out. So I'm still taking Artesia, but go Ruidoso.
I would go Bulldogs. I mean, this is a little bit too tough for Ruidoso, but if those skill players that they got come out and have a good game, maybe they can at least keep this interesting through a good portion of it. But yeah, this is a tough one for Ruidoso. Manny?
Yeah. Are they in the same class?
No, Ruidoso's a 4A team.
Yeah, that's the part that's bugging me about this. Yeah, the altitude's one thing, the weather's another. Artesia's put up 300 points, given up 195. Ruidoso's put up 109 and given up 139. I just think pound for pound, 11 versus 11, Artesia's a better football team. I'm going Bulldogs.
Ricky.
And we've got Artesia as well.
Brandon.
I mean, I don't even think it's going to be a close game.
Probably not.
Artesia's going to run with this one.
Tim.
Yeah, I don't know if this will even have a third quarter. I think Artesia's going to win by a lot.
Hopefully they get a full 4-quarter game. I'll keep my hopes up for that with the Warriors there. All right. Also tonight, Cloudcroft is hosting Lordsburg up in the mountains, and tomorrow Mescalero is taking on the Tularosa JV. So for our other 2 area teams, what they've got going on this weekend. All right, let's go ahead and take a commercial break. We will come back and pick some college games for this week here on the KNMZ Football Roundtable. You're listening to ESPN Alamogordo 103.7.
Hi, my name is Jake Roberts, and I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Southern Nelson. Are you looking for your dream home, or are you looking to sell your property and need the guidance to get noticed? I can help you with professional real estate services today. Call me at 575-446-8574 or email me at jake@nmvistas.com. To view a list of our inventory, visit our website at alamogordo-coldwellbanker.com or visit us at 800 Scenic Drive in Alamogordo.
Now you have a choice when it comes to keeping massive files of your bank statements every month. With an online e-statement, you'll have an accurate, easy-to-read electronic statement you can access anywhere, anytime. Get more control over your cash flow. And no more giant filing cabinets. Our e-statements get an A+. First National Bank, member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
Wow, look at all those bright colors.
Yep, good old Tularosa Basin sunsets.
No, Mike, I just came from the Chevy house and I have a 2020 in my sights.
While everyone else still has 2019 vision, we have the new 2020 models in stock right now.
With supplier pricing in full effect for the 2019 models,
Which gotta go.
you can also get a great deal on a brand new, just in inventory, newly released, never ever seen before, new to the area.
Hey, they get it. The 2020s are exclusively here at Desert Sun Motor Chevrolet.
Plus, we have the best in market, best service, tenderly loved and regrettably traded in pre-owned vehicles within 250 miles. We will not be undersold. All offers will be accepted.
That's right. With little or no money down financing and higher than market value for your trade, how could you not come down to 2600 North White Sands Boulevard or visit us online at DesertSunMotors.com.
See dealer for details. All available 2019s are still in stock. Not all 2020s have arrived yet. Deals may be the hottest under the sun. Purchase of one or more vehicles could increase your heart rate. Proud supporter of Taco Tuesdays. Keep hands and feet inside at all times. Do not attempt this at home.
At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, we are proud of the great high schools in Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, Mescalero, and Tularosa. Our student athletes set a valuable example for everyone to follow. They work hard to succeed in the classroom and in competitive sports and contribute enormous time and energy to bring pride to their schools and community. At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, as we work hard to protect the families and businesses of Otero County, we proudly take pause to follow our student athletes and extend our best wishes for their success every day in the classroom and on game day.
Here at Christ Community, we are all about Jesus, we're all about people, and all about community. We are more than a building, more than a gathering. We are more than a religion. We are a place to belong, a place to be changed, and a place to experience relationship with God and others. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, and no matter what you've done, Jesus loves you, we love you, and you belong here at Christ Community.
You're listening to ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. Welcome back into the KNMZ Football Roundtable. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Again, hope everybody is staying as dry as they possibly can. Moving on to our college picks for this week. And We do have a few that aren't on the pick sheet this week, like Notre Dame we didn't put on there because they are 45.5-point favorites against Bowling Green.
Yeah. I'm still going to watch the game.
Yeah. Good. It was a great win. I'd tell you your defense is pretty, the Notre Dame defense is pretty spectacular.
Finally got our running game going a little bit, too, so not so one-dimensional.
Exactly. Let's see. And is Oklahoma off this week, Brandon? No. Who do they? Oh, they've got Kansas. That's right.
Yeah, I think it's like a
32.
33 point favorite there.
The Fighting Les Miles.
Go Sooners.
Kansas. I don't know who they beat a couple weeks ago that I was surprised by. It was like Boston College, I think. And I was that one threw me off a little bit. I think Alabama is off this week, so that's why we actually don't have them on the sheet there.
That's not the only reason why, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't even look for them anymore.
They need to be not so good, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
It's fine. It's all good.
All right, we'll start off with Central Florida tonight taking on Cincinnati. Central Florida ranked 18th. They're 3.5-point favorites. Kind of an interesting game. Cincinnati's been a solid program for a few years, and UCF lost a tough one on the road to Pitt a little bit earlier on this season. So I mean, I think they're at least susceptible to an upset, but I think it would only be a slight upset in this game. So this is I think a pretty tough one to pick, in all honesty. Manny, we'll let you start it off.
Yeah, I like the high-octane offenses, the UCF Knights. They're favored by 3.5. I'll have this game on. The sound will be down because I'll be listening to you. But I'm gonna go UCF on this.
All right. Ricky.
Yeah, I mean UCF has lost one regular season game in like 2 years. So
yeah, I think like 3 years. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, but it was 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah. I think we got UCF winning.
He's already trying to see if he can coach you into Cincinnati or something like that.
Somebody needs to go out there.
Brandon.
UCF as well.
Tim.
Yeah, I haven't been to a whole lot of college football games, but I've been to a Cincinnati Bearcat game, and it was amazing. I mean, they have a tremendous student section. They're going to be excited to be on the national scene against really, I think you could call UCF a national powerhouse at this point. But that's why I'm going to go with UCF, because they're a national powerhouse.
So you've been there. What does the Bearcat mascot look like?
You've never seen their mascot? It's like a black and white, almost kind of tigery looking bobcat kind of combo. It's really cool. They got a great mascot, great logo. I used to always buy their gear just because I love the brand of the Cincinnati Bearcat.
I've never seen a Bearcat before.
I can't say I've.
It's like a hybrid. I don't even know what it is, but it's cool.
Yeah, Jake.
I don't see Cincinnati winning. It's not in my best interest to pick Cincinnati, so I'm taking UCF. Self-preservation.
I'm going to go Cincinnati. Everybody's going to be on UCF here. This UCF will probably go out there and beat them by 50 points tonight, but I think that's a small spread, and I think that's not a bad one to jump out on there. All right, number 14 Iowa goes to number 19 Michigan. Michigan's getting 3.5, even though they are the lower ranked team. But and to have one loss this year as well, but clearly a little bit more faith in Michigan. I don't know why people have more faith in Michigan in these ranked matchups, because Harbaugh hasn't been particularly great in these kind of games, or at least his teams haven't been particularly great.
Yeah, but Iowa hasn't really played anyone either.
Iowa State's good.
Yeah,
they beat Mississippi
that was a good game.
State
That was a 1 point
last year.
1 point game. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is a toss-up. I mean, it really is. It's basically home field, I think, is what Michigan is getting.
And you got to keep in mind the waging number, or whatever, the spread, is for people who bet. Yeah. Cowboys, people always bet for the Cowboys, so that number is always a little skewed. Michigan has a huge fan base across the nation. It's going to skew the spread.
Yeah. Ricky, who do you like?
Michigan. I mean, playing at home, and outside of Ohio State, I like Michigan for the most part against most teams. So.
How about against Wisconsin?
Not so much last week.
Didn't he say Notre Dame? I'm a little confused.
Huh?
Wasn't he like a big Notre Dame fan?
Well, I think
I'm not a big Michigan fan.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I think he just enjoys watching college football.
I do.
Who doesn't?
Brandon.
I am not a big Michigan fan, and I'm going to go Iowa for that reason, I guess.
Okay. Tim.
Fair enough. Yeah, only because my buddy Bill Guthrie's such a big Michigan fan. I'm gonna go with Michigan. They can't lose 2 games at home before the middle of October.
Well, they lost that other game. That was in Wisconsin. That was at Mass.
Oh, but they almost lost to Army.
Yes.
And that was a bad showing. So you're right. I stand corrected. But they won't lose it at home in the big house.
There you go. Jake?
I'm not so sure. I'm taking Iowa in this one.
Okay.
Look at you going with the underdog.
Again, again. You're just going to, like, write them all down. In fact, let me put a PDF together. I'll send it to you this week. But on my Underdog Picks, I think I'm pretty high up there in the ones that I've gotten right.
I really don't want to have to pick either one of these teams, but I'll go Michigan. Manny?
Well, Irish have got Bowling Green at home, and then USC comes to town, and then they're off, and then we go to the big house. And so I need Michigan to struggle in this game. I think that they will. I think that they may win in the end. But it's at the big house, 117,000 people. Maybe not that many, but pretty close.
Probably, yeah.
And so I'm going to go Michigan at home.
Okay.
So you're out there with Brandon.
It makes me nervous when the bottom two agree with me. I'm just saying.
All right, Auburn taking on Florida. Number 10, Auburn, getting 2.5 on the road here. Florida is ranked 7th. Both teams are 5-0. Huge game for the SEC East. Probably going to come down to these two teams in Georgia to decide who gets the SEC title game. Is Auburn in the SEC? Auburn's in the SEC West. I'm sorry, I had that confused. Florida's in the SEC East. So, Florida obviously wants to keep pace with Georgia. Would be the goal here if they can get the win. How about your Gators, or Tim?
I've really enjoyed how they've played this year, but here's my problem. So I've picked against Auburn against Oregon. I picked against Auburn against Texas A&M. So what's the old expression? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm insane. So I'm gonna do the old Charles. You haven't done it this year.
No.
But I'm gonna guard my heart, and that way, if Florida wins, I'll be like, good. If they lose, I'll be like, well, at least I didn't get it wrong. I'm gonna go with Auburn. Go Tigers. I mean, go Gators.
There you go.
But go Tigers. Both.
Yes, they're both.
Either way.
I got you.
Okay.
Hedging your bets.
Yes.
Jake.
I'm speechless because when I saw this game, I marked Auburn just because I knew it'd be an anti-Tim pick, and he went with Auburn. So that really kind of I'm flabbergasted.
So who's in whose head now?
I didn't feel like I was in your head. I kind of felt like I was pretty solid there. I was like, all right. Okay, all right. Well, there we go. So I think Florida's actually favored in this game. They're playing at home. They have been decent at home. Just to pick against Tim, I'm going to go Florida. I will
You're
switch.
gonna really
I'm
hurt me
switching,
now.
I'm switching my pick.
Well, just so you know, Florida is not favored.
But he always
They
picks
are
the
favored.
underdog.
Is favored by 3.
He's an underdog picker, bro. He has a spreadsheet.
It's right.
I'm
Auburn's
looking-
favored.
Oh,
by
2.5.
Yeah,
2.5.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah. It really is. It's a pick 'em kind of game.
Yeah. Not really.
The quarterback situation concerns me a little bit there at Florida.
I'm just picking on you, bro.
It's fine. I'm good.
I'm going to go Auburn. I think that I got a little bit more faith in Tigers there, but I think this is a real difficult one to get a good gauge on. Manny?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about A, B, C, D, E, F? I'm going A for Auburn.
Okay.
I have no idea.
That's a great logic.
I was gonna-
Creative.
It
I
is.
almost
It's-
forgot my alphabet.
It's a different one. Yeah. Ricky?
Florida at home, I think they're pretty evenly matched, and then home field advantage. I think the Gators come out on top.
All right. Brandon?
I am going to go Auburn. I've been picking them all season, and it's done me all right. Even though I'm still in last place, but
I
still.
do like me some Auburn, but just
Yeah, the two people at the front of the pick sheet have got both got Florida, so that's probably a sign there for the rest of us.
Yep.
Down in El Paso tomorrow night. We haven't had UTEP on the sheet this year. We don't put them on there much because they're not very good. But UTEP taking on UTSA, and also there's not many games where they are close in the spread, and they're getting 1.5 points in this game. So I know a lot of people say why I would put this game on here. There's not a lot of good games, and I figured in the area. Why not?
I like it.
Yeah. And I think it's a tough one to pick as well. So I don't know. This is a difficult one to say the least. And because I forced you guys to pick it, I'll go first. I'm gonna go UTSA. I can't pick UTEP.
And so this is University of Texas at San Antonio?
Yes.
Okay. Roadrunners.
Yes.
Okay.
I had to Google that. I did not know who these people
And
were.
they're both 1-3. Over and under is 45. UTEP's slightly favorite, but it's their homecoming. Are you telling me they're not going to win this game?
I'm hoping they don't.
Oh, man, I'm going UTEP.
Okay. Ricky.
I have San Antonio coming out on top. I don't think UTEP's performed very well this year, and just got San Antonio coming out on top.
All right, Brandon.
I'll go with a team that starts with a U.
You could go with the team that starts with a UT, actually, too.
Honestly, I mean, if there was a way I can just say either one, but I don't know. This is horrible. I'll go the Roadrunners. Why not?
Okay. Tim.
Oh, man. This is tough, but that makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
Because we have no
Hopefully we'll
idea.
get a nice split here, you know?
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of the split. I was going to go with the Roadrunners, but, I was like, I like El Paso. That city's grown on me. I was born there. I got family there. It was good to me this time last year when my son was born there, and they took good care of him. So an emotional pick, a sentimental pick, I'm going to go with the local University of Texas in El Paso.
All right, Jake.
His logic is a lot better than mine, but I'm still taking UTEP.
Okay, so let's see.
Almost a split.
That's a
No,
split.
it is a split, yeah.
3 up.
Myself and Ricky and Brandon all went UTSA.
Man. Oh, you went UTSA?
Yeah.
My bad, bro.
There you go.
He said Roadrunners, so
There
it
you go,
confused
yeah.
everybody.
I don't know what that is.
We didn't know what that was either.
Fighting Roadrunners.
Meep, meep.
Hopefully they run away from the miners
Yeah, there you go.
in fear.
No, I hope
Not
it
with the
doesn't happen.
score. No.
All right,
Oh,
New
but-
Mexico State. It's also New Mexico State's homecoming this weekend too. They're hosting Liberty. Liberty's getting 4.5. They beat UNM last week at home out in Virginia. These two teams actually play a home and home. They play twice in the same season, which is not very,
strange.
very usual. Or it's unusual in college football, but with both teams being independents, that's part of the reason why. I think they split the two games last year. I think NMSU won at home and they lost at Liberty. So. Boy, the Aggies could really, really use a win here. That would be nice, but we'll see what happens. Brandon, who do you like?
Well, New Mexico State lost to UNM, and Liberty beat UNM. So my logic says, pick Liberty.
So that transit property works sometimes. Tim.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Fighting Farwells, the Liberty University.
Okay.
I thought they were something else. Okay.
Well, they are.
No,
They're the Flames. But they got
but Falwells are behind the university.
Yeah.
So
Pastor.
Oh, yes. Okay.
we
That
were
does make
chatting
sense.
about it before the show a little bit.
Liberty.
Man, I can't pick against the Aggies. Why not? I'm going to go to New Mexico State. Come on, NMSU, make this happen. I think Liberty probably wins.
And so
though.
Liberty beat UNM in Albuquerque.
No.
Hold on. So
you're
you're
out there. Okay.
You're going to go
So-
out there on a couple games to try to pick one up and then purposely tank yourself on this game.
Oh no, I'd probably tank myself on Cincinnati and a couple others in here. So I don't know.
I don't think this is a tank game, though.
This was, the UTSA pick was because I really don't like UTEP, and this one is they're my alma mater, so I'm going to go NMSU.
And so the Flames are favored by 6. Their record's 3-2. The over and under is 60.
I think they're favored by more, actually. Hold
I
on.
got them favored by 5.5.
I have it by 4.
It doesn't matter. Liberty's favored anyway.
Okay,
by
and so here we are. Liberty's coming to play a New Mexico school. They probably got a little bit of chip on their shoulder after beating UNM at home. I'm going to go ahead and go with New Mexico State. They got to win a football game.
I've been encouraged by the way that they played against Fresno and even against San Diego State. It was better, but obviously they need a real good game to get a win.
And I had picked Liberty, but I've got an eraser here. And I am changing my pick to New Mexico State Aggies.
Okay, Ricky.
I liked Manny's, speech on New Mexico State, but got to keep Layering the lead, so I'm going
Not
Liberty.
in the lead. Whoa. Not in the lead.
Well, get
Second
closer,
place.
Get closer to the lead.
It's one
There we
game.
go. Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Okay, so
I had a really bad week last week.
me and Manny are on the Aggies. Everybody else is on Liberty. Got that right? Okay, there's one of the
I
big.
think everybody pretty much had a very bad last week except Lara.
Lara had a good, yeah.
That-
Tim goaded her
one
into
of-
half those picks,
at
too.
At least one of them. At least one of them. The Alamogordo pick. He was giving her a hard time about the Alamogordo pick.
She was
So right. And I baited her into the New Orleans
Yeah,
Saints pick.
he absolally baited her into that. She was.
I thought the Cowboys had that game, man.
I think most people did too. So, Saints are more than just Drew Brees, clearly, from what we've seen so far. All right, we'll go ahead and take a commercial break, and we'll come back and pick some pro games. You're listening to the KNMZ Football Roundtable on ESPN Alamogordo.
At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, we are proud of the great high schools in Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, Mescalero, and Tularosa. Our student athletes set a valuable example for everyone to follow. They work hard to succeed in the classroom and in competitive sports and contribute enormous time and energy to bring pride to their schools and community. At Charles Garland and Harris Insurance, as we work hard to protect the families and businesses of Otero County, we proudly take pause to follow our student athletes and extend our best wishes for their success every day in the classroom and on game day.
Wow.
Wow, look at all those bright colors.
Yep, good old Tularosa Basin sunsets.
No, Mike, I just came from the Chevy house and I have a 2020 in my sights.
While everyone else still has 2019 vision, we have the new 2020 models in stock right now.
With supplier pricing in full effect for the 2019 models,
What you gotta go?
you can also get a great deal on a brand new, just in inventory, newly released, never ever seen before, new to the area.
Hey, they get it. The 2020s are exclusively here at Desert Sun Motor Chevrolet.
Plus, we have the best in market, best service, tenderly loved and regrettably traded in pre-owned vehicles within 250 miles. We will not be undersold. All offers will be accepted.
That's right. With little or no money down financing and higher than market value for your trade, how could you not come down to 2600 North White Sands Boulevard or visit us online at DesertSunMotors.com.
See dealer for details. All available 2019s are still in stock. Not all 2020s have arrived yet. Deals may be the hottest under the sun. Purchase of one or more vehicles could increase your heart rate. Proud supporter of Taco Tuesdays. Keep hands and feet inside at all times. Do not attempt this at home.
There are no roadblocks scheduled today on either Highway 70 or 54 South. For the latest roadblock information, call 575-678-1178. Today's forecast is calling for mostly cloudy skies, 60% chance of rain in Alamogordo, high of 77, low of 60 for Cloudcroft, high of 62, overnight low of 43. For tomorrow, we're looking at sunny skies and the rain moving out. In Alamogordo tomorrow, high of 83, low of 58 for Cloudcroft tomorrow, high of 69, and an overnight low of 41.
Now you have a choice when it comes to keeping massive files of your bank statements every month. With an online e-statement, you'll have an accurate, easy-to-read electronic statement you can access anywhere, anytime. Get more control over your cash flow. And no more giant filing cabinets. Our e-statements get an A+. First National Bank, member FDIC. When you grow, we grow.
Are you looking to rent or need someone to manage your property? Hi, I'm Jake Roberts with Coldwell Banker, Sudderth Nelson. Did you know that we are the largest property management company in Alamogordo? Whether you are looking for a short-term housing solution or to turn an existing property into a great long-term investment, give us a call at 575-437-1137. Visit our website today at alamogordocoldwellbanker.com or come by and see us at 800 Scenic Drive.
Here at Christ Community, we are all about Jesus, we're all about people, and all about community. We are more than a building, more than a gathering. We are more than a religion. We are a place to belong, a place to be changed, and a place to experience relationship with God and others. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, and no matter what you've done, Jesus loves you, we love you, and you belong here at Christ Community.
You're listening to ESPN Alamogordo 103.7. We're having many conversations during the break. You're listening to the KNMZ Football Roundtable. Just a friendly reminder, we'll get to Manny here in a second because he was having some thoughts on Vontaze Burfict. So the Tigers are on the road tonight. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. You can listen to it here on ESPN Alamogordo. Aggies tomorrow night against Liberty, 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff. So check that one out as well. And then on Sunday, we do have the Raiders taking on the Bears and the Cowboys and Packers, which should be a very good one. All right, so first game on our NFL pick sheet is the Raiders and the Bears. Raiders with an impressive win on the road against Indy last week. That was one that I certainly didn't see coming, and Indy, just couldn't quite come back from a deficit as that game progressed. But Bears are getting 5.5 in this game. They got a nice win at home. For the most part, without Minnesota, and that's one that Brandon got. He was the only one that picked the Bears last week. As Mitch Trubisky got hurt, and Chase Daniel came in and played well. And I don't. Is Trubisky out again this week? Trubisky is out again this week.
He's doubtful.
Yeah, so probably going to be Chase Daniel again. But the big thing is the defense, and the Khalil Mack revenge tour is. He's going to be. It's going to be like one of those scenes where the guy from Remember the Titans is pointing at the coach.
Yes.
That's what Khalil Mack's going to do to John Gruden after he sacks Derek Carr.
That's a great visual. I like that. I'm going to sleep tonight thinking of that.
Khalil Mack wouldn't do that, but anyway,
Some of these days we ought to forgo the radio spots and just leave the mics hot, because that would really add value to the show and our listenership.
By the way, we were talking about Vontaze Burfict's hit on Jack Doyle last week, which cost him the rest of the season. Manny says that it's part of Burfict's past, but probably wearing that silver and black.
If he played for the Patriots, he wouldn't get a full year.
I don't feel like he ever acknowledged the past. I think he just went straight to the Patriots.
Okay, to the game at hand. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I've got two great friends that are Bears fans, and they've been remarkably quiet this week. That Bears defense is for real. The Raiders, really, we hope to just save the uniforms. And I mean that. It's a tough challenge. The only good thing is that right after their upset win in Indianapolis, the Raiders got on an airplane and left for London. They got there 6 or 7 hours before the Bears. So that I hope that's a sign of the commitment leaning forward into this game. I'm going to go Raiders.
I would also say this. I think the Raiders are probably better than we give them credit for. And the Bears offensively are you have no idea more than anything else. Ricky, who do you like?
I got Chicago winning. I mean, I agree. I think that Oakland isn't as bad as some people might think. But Chicago's front seven, I think, is probably the best front seven in the league. So, got to go defense there.
All right. Brandon, you were on the Bears last week. You on them again here?
Yeah, and what made me pick them last week is their defense. I mean, their defense is, they say defense doesn't win games, but at the same time, I think defense can win games. And I'm going to ride that. I'm going to ride that.
All right. People that like high-scoring games.
Yeah. In the NFL these days, I mean, defense is.
I see what you're saying.
Not as there's not as much of it as it used to be. At least with the rules of the way that they are. Tim.
I would like to point out that Oakland went into the oil can, Manny, and destroyed the Colts.
I wouldn't say destroyed, but you're right.
They controlled the game.
They did.
Yeah. And they won.
And I don't have. I wouldn't say Indy's defense is.
Yeah.
Anywhere remotely close to Chicago, though.
Yeah.
No. Oh wow.
Their offense
is way
think
better
their
than Chicago's.
Line is better, but not their defense.
Well, I think there's a case to be made that this will be a good game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Oakland wins. But yeah, I know it's easy to say, but I'm with you. I think Mac is just gonna destroy people. So I kind of want to see that. Chicago.
All right, Jake.
So this is the London game. So I think travel is clearly going to be the equalizer here. Honestly, the reason why I haven't picked the Bears that much at all is just because I'm not that big of a fan of Trubisky. Not because he's bad, it's just he's inconsistent, so you never know what you're getting from him from week to week. But I do think the road trip does favor defense. I'm taking Chicago because I do think they're the better team in this match.
I'll go Bears. I mean, I think that it's I would not be shocked if the Raiders found a way in this game, just because the unknown, whether it's a beat-up Mitchell Trubisky or Chase Daniel, I think they would have to keep Trubisky out because they got the bye week next week coming off of this. It makes a lot more sense to just hold them out.
Take the under.
The under?
What's the under, Manny?
I don't know. What is the over-under in this, Manny?
On this one, it's 40.
That's low.
That's pretty low
very
for an
low
NFL game, yeah.
But, in London, sometimes it can be very wet. It can be marshy. That field's not ready for football. First team to 10 might win that game.
This is a Raider home game.
Yeah.
And the Raiders are an international phenomenon, as you know. And so they will not have, if you look carefully at the away games for the Raiders, they get a lot of penalties. False starts on offense particularly. And that's that volume of that home crowd. I think the Raiders won't have that problem here. But, again, the Bear defense is not going to be letting up.
I'm thinking the field might be in a little better condition because this is the new Tottenham Stadium that they've been building for years. That this was supposed to be the place that they were going to play. I think they've been at Wembley for a majority of the games. So I think maybe that won't be as big of an impact. But I like the Bears. I think they'll get the win. All right, Green Bay going to Dallas. This is our other game that you can hear here on ESPN Alamogordo on Sunday. Green Bay 3-1, Dallas 3-1. Cowboys coming off a little bit of a surprising loss last week, but I would kind of say the same for Green Bay. I don't think a lot of us anticipated them losing to Philly last Thursday. Green Bay's had a little bit of extra time to prepare. This is the first game where Dallas has played, I think, what we consider a top echelon team at full strength. Last week, no Drew Brees. We kind of anticipated that they would get the win there. So try to bounce back, and we'll see what happens to Tim's Cowboys. You like Tim?
Well, I like the Cowboys, of course, but I would say it was really surprising Green Bay lost at home. I think that's the big thing to me. They lose on the road some, but they're usually so good at Lambeau Field. really was a bad week for the Cowboys because of the Packers losing to the Eagles, which makes me sad. And now the Giants are randomly decent. There's always the Redskins. I'm going to go Dallas, and I think this is going to be a really good game. And I know Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones from New Mexico State are going to give them everything they've got, but I think the Cowboys can do it.
Jake.
So what I saw in that Green Bay game is it doesn't look like the offense is totally in sync with what they're doing. So Jimmy Graham, what was it, dropped 2 passes in the red zone? 2 or 3? Like, he was targeted quite a bit. So something's still not syncing up there, right? And I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan because he's on my fantasy. I'm not gonna lie about that. So I need Dallas to win this game so that Aaron Rodgers throws the ball more. So I'm taking Dallas.
Okay.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because I'll get more points the more he has to throw.
Yeah, this is a hard one to pick. And Jake's right in that the offense has not really hit its stride with the new coach. I mean, you can tell that things are not. Aaron Rodgers is frustrated. The defense is clearly better. And I think, we're probably not giving enough credit for how good Philly is. Philly's had some tough games this year. They've been close, I think, in every game they've played. I'm gonna go Green Bay defense. I think they're gonna give Dallas some problems, and I just Aaron Rodgers in Dallas. He's had some good games there, so I'll give him the kudos on that. So I'll go Green Bay. Manny?
As far as this list of games go, this is the best game on the list. Absolutely. And, Green Bay, Dallas is scoring more points and allowing fewer points. It's in their place. I think that's the difference in this one. I'm going to go Cowboys.
I think we know where Ricky's going to head with this one. He's a Cowboys fan.
Huge Cowboys fan, so definitely picking Dallas in this one. I think Devontae Adams either isn't going to play, or if he is, he's probably going to be limited with the foot injury. I don't think that Green Bay offense is clicking, like they said, Jimmy Graham in the red zone. And that defense, I don't think they're going to have a shutdown corner like the Saints have in Marshawn Lattimore to shadow Amari Cooper, so I think he'll have a good game. So I got Dallas winning this one.
Brandon?
Dallas is one of those teams that, has in the past, which team is going to show up, right? That's the thing. I think last week's game was a little shocking. They played each other very good. I mean, it was a very even match game. Who knows what the turnout would have been if Breeze was actually playing. Some people say there's no way he would have been able to win that game. Then some people said that he would have just ran away with it.
I want to meet these people who thought the Saints would have been worse with Drew Brees.
I know, right?
Whatever. Okay.
But in this case, because it's at home, I'm going to go Dallas.
Okay. I need you to start sourcing naming, citing your sources.
Citing the sources. My goodness.
I kind of expected that to be
Fair enough.
All right. Bills going to the Titans. 3 points going to the Titans. Bills, man, they gave Patriots a good game. If we could have gotten some good quarterback play, that would have that'd have been all right. Chances are that Matt Barkley is going to start in this game for the Bills. Tennessee, very impressive at Atlanta last week. Tennessee's a hard team to figure. Okay. 3 points going to the Titans. I haven't picked against the Bills yet this year. I think the Bills' defense is good enough to help them win this game. And Matt Barkley played pretty well last year when he filled in for Josh Allen. So I think this is such a toss-up game. And you know what? I'm never going to pick the Titans in a Bills game in Nashville because I still have flashback memories of 1999, 2000, the whatever they want to call it, the forward pass. Music City Miracle forward pass. I'm going to go with the Bills. Manny?
I'm a quasi-closet Buffalo Bill fan. Maybe it's just because I feel sorry for him, those 4 Super Bowls in a row,
Thanks, Manny.
But I was I was paying close attention to that game last week. I thought that was a fun game to watch. I think Buffalo Bills are underrated. I'm going Bills on the road.
All right. Ricky?
I agree. I think the Bills are a little underrated because they play in the AFC East with the Patriots, so they don't get a lot of attention. They're definitely a better team with Josh Allen, but I think that defense keeps them in it, so I'm going Buffalo.
All right. Brandon?
I thought I was going to be like one of the only ones that took Buffalo on this one, but I'm going to go Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's having a decent season. I mean, even though, you looked at what the spread was against the Patriots. I mean,
it was a block punt was the difference in the game. I mean,
absolutely.
That was the biggest bummer, and they shut down Brady. I was impressed with that. Tim?
Yep.
Yeah, I am shocked that all of you guys have gone with the Bills, other than Charles. I'm proud of you, though. A 50-50 chance Josh Allen plays is what I'm reading as of today. So, no, I'm going Titans. they've been good to me so far this year. I think I've gotten them right. So yeah, I'm gonna go Titans.
Jake.
I'm about 50-50 on the Titans. When I picked them this year, I really want to go Buffalo, but it does bother me that Josh Allen's not necessarily suiting out. We don't really know. Their defense is elite, but I'm gonna roll the Titans.
All right, Indy going to Kansas City. Chiefs are getting 11 points in this game, 4-0. But this is another one I think that's sneaky that Indy could keep this close with KC, just because of how quality they've played this year. And it was interesting. Last week I think was the first week where people looked at Indy as probably the favorite in that game, and that was one that they didn't really play particularly well. And maybe back to being the underdog status will help them out a little bit, Brandon.
I'm going to go with, like, Tim's theory earlier on Florida Auburn. You know, like, if Indy wins, great, I'm going to be excited. And if they lose, you know, it's going to be, you know, that's what I thought type mentality here. 10.5 point favorites to Kansas City. In Kansas City, I think that's the biggest difference in this game. I'm going to go Tennessee, pick against my team there.
Kansas City.
Isn't that what he said?
He said Tennessee.
Oh,
Kansas
okay.
City?
No, I thought he said Kansas City.
I heard Tennessee. Okay.
All right.
Stay in your lane over there, bro.
Sorry.
Hey, buddy, you're the only 10.
I was just trying to help. My bad.
I thought you were just skipping me. Like, okay, no, we know everyone's going Kansas City, man. You can just let me go.
I do think we could skip over this pick.
Probably.
Let me just say to Brandon that there's a big difference in my game and your game. The Florida Auburn is a coin toss. It could go either way.
But that makes it even worse that you didn't pick Florida.
Well, yeah.
You're giving him a hard time. You should be giving yourself a hard time.
I should be because I'm
Like, this makes more sense that Brandon's picking KC here because it's more
You're
likely
right.
they're going to win it.
But he acted like it was apples to apples. It's
No, I'm going away from your same theory.
I am here to be the antagonist.
He
Okay?
really is. You're doing a good job today. Kansas City?
Oh, yes. Just keep
Jake?
moving.
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes, boy. Let's go.
I'm going to go Kansas City. By the way, when we get down to this Cleveland game, Tim's going to give you a hard time because somebody didn't pick Cleveland last week, and Cleveland won, so.
I didn't see it coming. I mean, kudos, but I didn't see it coming.
You know, I just watch Kansas City. It seems like they can cruise around in second gear, and whenever they need to, they go to fourth gear. And unbelievable passing, unbelievable catches, grabs for those receivers. It's very, very impressive. It's in Arrowhead, and that is the toughest home venue in the world, in the history of the world. Arrowhead. I'm going Kansas City.
Yeah, they played poorly last week and still managed to get that win over Detroit. Ricky?
Yeah, I think when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, I mean, I think they're always in it, but especially in this one, I don't think it's going to be close. Kansas City.
All right. San Francisco hosting Cleveland Monday Night Football. I give credit to the schedulers because this was touch and go on whether this was going to be a good Monday Night Football matchup because with Cleveland and San Francisco, at least recently, you don't really know. But this is going to be a good game on Monday night. It makes up for the stinker that they got on Monday with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. So this should be a fun one. And the Niners are getting 3.5 at home. Another road game for Baker Moneymaker, who had a good game last week against Baltimore.
He did have a good game last week, and I did not see that coming at all. That said, I think the 3-point spread is not enough. I think San Francisco's going to blow out Cleveland.
So you're going to go San Francisco?
I'm taking San Francisco.
Man, what is that about? Tim's going to have so much fun when I get back.
Oh, my goodness. I can explain it, but it would be a cop-out. I'll just leave it.
I'm going to go Niners at home. I mean, they've been impressive so far this year. There's really no reason to pick against them. Just at home, or at least there's no reason to doubt them so far. We'll see in this game. Maybe Cleveland will go out there and give us one of those reasons. But good for Shanahan and for Garoppolo. I'm going to go San Francisco.
You know, I'm one of those guys that was kind of keen on keeping track of what the Cleveland Browns were doing because they've been dogs for so long, and you know they've kind of up and down a little bit now. But it's San Francisco in their place, and I think that's important on a Monday night. So I'm going 49ers.
All right. For you.
Yeah, I got Cleveland here. I mean, I think San Francisco's played well. I think the record shows that. And Cleveland's been up and down, definitely. The last week they had a great game. I think they're finally getting that run game going. And I think they'll win.
Okay. Brent?
You know, I watched a video the other day of when Baker and Mahomes played each other in like 2016, Texas Tech versus OU, and they each had like 7 touchdowns each in that game.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Like two amazing quarterbacks. I'm going to stick with Baker Mayfield and go Cleveland.
So why do you have a Cleveland Brown symbol above your name?
You're going to make me go there.
You said you had a cop out. I feel
was
like I
not
don't even
gonna
care if we
cop
don't make the
out.
last
No,
pick.
I was not going to cop out. I picked the Cleveland Browns as my team this year just because I wanted the drama on the sheet. We've said this numerous times. I'm not a team guy. I'm not a team guy.
Flair. But don't
It's
you like
just
Baker?
for controversy. It's for controversy.
It's perfect. It's perfect for the show.
Who you pick it to?
I'm going Cleveland. I mean, San Francisco, dude, they've beaten Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Tampa Bay. With all due respect,
Tampa's not bad. I mean, look what they did last week. So, I mean,
look what they did against the Giants.
Look what they did last week. I mean,
It's the NFL.
And
We have no idea. None of us have any idea.
Okay, we're almost out of time. Nobody's going to pick the Redskins, right?
New England.
Okay,
Exactly.
New England's getting 15.5. We put it on there because obviously that's Lara's team, but Lara's not here, so we don't need to really go too far into it. Everybody's going Patriots against Dwayne Haskins making his first start against Bill Belichick's defense. Alrighty, y'all. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you from Chaparral coming up tonight here on ESPN Alamogordo.
I think that's the most